Hope everybody's having a great day. Look, don't plan on being being long here. I want to talk about this Ari Fletcher comment on domestic violence and the fact that she was dropped by Rihanna and she's catching heat. I'm going to talk to you about that. This short episode is brought to you by the Epic Realm community of high achievers. Something that I started to help people create winning circles. If you have not joined yet, I encourage you to do so. Everyone who joins will receive a free rapid change breakthrough session with yours truly, a value of $350. With that being said, if you want to join this community, if you're looking to take your life to the next level, a big part of that is going to be intentionally controlling the people that you're around and immersing yourself in the positive enforcing and accountability of a strong circle. If you want to be a part of this community, we're doing some unbelievable things that includes free courses, discounts on everything I offer from any of my companies and a bunch of other things. And if you want to be a part of this, you can sign up for your first annual membership and receive the free rapid change breakthrough session with yours truly. Like I said, that's a $350 value. So you win right off the top. Click the link, make it happen. So let's talk about this. And you guys know me, I'm not real big on the whole viral video, sensational, what's hot, trending topic stuff. I'm about growth. I'm about personal development. I'm about collective unity. I'm about those type things when it comes to myself as a person, when it comes to my family, and also when it comes to the Black community. I believe strongly in making sure that the time you spend in your day is on something positive, something that will grow. So that's one of the reasons why I don't have this massive following, is because I don't get into the click stuff. I don't get into the egotistical back and forths. I don't have a competitive mindset with other Black men. I want to see every Black man succeed. So you don't see a lot of beefing with me. There are people out there that are doing things in the Black community that I have a personal issue with. You'll never know it. Why? Because they're doing work in the Black community and my personal issue doesn't trump the growth of my people. So I put it on the back burner, and I will even work with them if I know what they're doing is benefiting the people. It's just the way that I'm built. I'm not here. I don't have to make people believe me or be my friend to feel okay with myself. So with that being said, that's one of the reasons you're not going to get 150,000 subscribers. When you look at me, you're going to get a very slow growing channel. I had to do it all over again, so we started from scratch, but you're getting a slow growing channel because my content is not going to be sensational. My content is going to be solid, and there's a difference. If you take my content, you're going to learn. You're going to get an understanding of yourself and how you fit into the total thing. You're going to get an opportunity to be a part of something great. But you're probably not going to get a whole lot of entertainment. You're not going to get entertained a lot. We will talk about topics when it comes. The reason I'm talking about the Ari Fletcher thing is because of the topic itself and not the person. Ari Fletcher is if I'm correct, a social media influencer primarily on Instagram. And she gained enough momentum that she was recognized by Rihanna's Fenty brand. And she was dubbed an ambassador for Fenty, which gives her direct association. I'm pretty sure there are some financial perks and some other perks from the brand and everything like that and how that works. And that's all good. Business is business. You take care of business. I get that. Well, in an interview, Ari said that when asked about domestic violence and some other things, she said she likes it for her man to pull a gun on her when she's getting out of hand and irate to calm her down. She said it in a joking manner, and I believe she was joking when she said it. And of course, it drew the ire of people who are advocates for those people who have suffered domestic violence and those people who fight against domestic violence. And she caught heat, and I think needfully so. She came back and she doubled down on she's not worried about those people, and she's had some other little fly things to say, and ultimately Rihanna dropped her as an ambassador, and that's what all of the smoke and heat is about, is the fact that Rihanna dropped her. My problem isn't with business. Business is business. People get dropped all the time, not necessarily because the business believes in the stance that they're taking, in other words, that the person is wrong, but that they understand that the public has such a strong enough opinion about it that if they don't take action, it can negatively impact their brand. So it's about protecting the brand. In this instance, knowing Rihanna's history, going back to at least Chris Brown, we know that she has an invested interest in being an advocate for the victims of domestic violence. So she was probably serious when she made this move, and she believed in the move that was being made. And I also believe that it was more than likely a direct decision from the top, meaning that Rihanna personally made that choice. Now, let's go into why it's an issue. I think that on one side of things, I think we've become so politically correct, so afraid of the cancel culture, that we don't have fun anymore. I think comedy is literally dying because no one can say anything about anybody without somebody being offended and triggering something where people ultimately being, their careers are being put in jeopardy. I believe comedy has a special place to where we can talk about things and we can make it make sense. But not even comedy should be allowed to patrol the fields of ignorance and hatred. And in this instance, I think that the statement was made in ignorance, an ignorance of the depth and devastation of domestic violence, ignorant of how people who are victims of domestic violence will interpret and receive it. And I think that she has to be held accountable. I think that I'm not one for canceling people for making mistakes or being unaware or being ignorant of the severity of something they do. Now, repetitive behavior or a sign that this is just the type of person you are, okay. You make a personal choice. I'm not going to deal with that. I don't go on cancel tirades. Stop doing. My thing is, I look at it and I say, hey, that's not somebody I want to be associated with. That's not somebody I want to give my time to. That's not somebody I want to invest my emotional energy in. So I'm no longer going to watch, listen to, or read, blah, blah, and on and on and on what this person has to present. It's that simple. And that's how I move. So I make a personal decision of what I'm going to give my energy to. And I'm about growth. I'm about development. I'm about winning. I'm about health and protection. And I have a major issue with domestic violence, intimate partner violence, intimate partner homicide. And so when someone comes out and says something like, I love for my boyfriend to pull a gun on me. Well, there are some people whose boyfriends and husbands and exes have pulled guns on them and used it. They are no longer with us, or they have been seriously injured. They have been traumatized, and they are dealing with the fallout of their encounter. There are family members who have lost loved ones to boyfriends who pulled guns out. And I think that we have to be very careful of what we say when we're given a platform, because these young girls in our communities look up to these so-called influencers. They definitely get more following than the people who are putting the substance and the real food on the table. The things that can actually advance you, grow you, build you up. These influencers, some of them solely based on their appearance, some of them on their charisma or whatever, but outside of looking good and wearing nice clothes and going nice places and driving nice cars, They don't bring a whole lot to the table. It's about entertainment. It's about giving someone an image to aspire to without giving them the work, the will, and the drive and the force to be able to build and develop it. It's selling an idea that all I have to do is be cute and everyone will like me and everyone will follow me and I can make $1 million. And the reality of it is that's not how it works, and that is not what is happening. Very few are making $1 million. And these are even with hundreds of thousands of followers. They are having a lifestyle that they live. A lot of that stuff is gifted and sponsored and a bunch of other things, and it's great. But I believe in substance. I believe in teaching someone something that they can use, and that's something that they can take regardless of the popularity that they currently possess and still move and operate and do things. And so my thing is, do your thing though. If you're winning, you do your thing, but take with it a responsibility to yourself, to your people, to those who will look up to you, to those you will represent. And for her, I think she represents women, and in some instances, black women. There are some other questions I could bring up, when I look at her, but I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to stick with the primary topic of domestic violence. Lord knows I want to go into the other things, but I don't think I want to muddy the water. I want to really keep it on why it's important. I think that when you have something like domestic violence or intimate partner violence or intimate partner homicide, where one of the leading causes of death of black females between the age of 15 and 44 is intimate partner homicide, I don't think that that type of joke bodes well. When you're talking about also an understanding that very few victims of violence in the black community are getting the necessary interventions and treatments so that they can heal from that, and so they end up victimizing other people, maybe not necessarily through violence, but when you're not healed emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually, it plays out in your life and your decisions and how you respond to others, how you treat others, even how you respond to proper love is negatively impacted by those experiences. And if you don't have the treatment and the healing, it's a problem. And we are part of a community where healing is lacking at a massive level. And so when you start talking about things like that, I guarantee you people are triggered, because somebody knows somebody or they personally were a victim of. And so you have to be careful about that. There's an old saying, it's even in scripture, but it's an old saying that says, of whom much is given, much is required. Okay, you have this platform now. How you use this platform is very important. When you take this platform and you misuse it, or you take this platform and you dismiss the people from whom you were elevated through your popularity, and you think you have arrived and you're untouchable, then it leads to a fall. But it also speaks to the fact that you aren't connected to the people that you're supposedly representing. So that's my take on it. My take is that all the smoke she's getting, all the heat she's getting is deserved. How she grows from it, how she develops and learns from it, will determine whether or not she deserves the space she has. But nobody should be exempt from being responsible. Nobody should be exempt from having an awareness of their connectivity to the community and their influence on the community, and the things that they say and do have an impact. And I think that she falls in line with anybody else. I have to be aware of what I say. I have to be aware of what I do. And I don't have nearly the reach that she has, but I still have that responsibility, because ultimately people are going to be influenced by what I say and what I do. And, I want to know that I'm leaving a positive and powerful legacy and not just out for the bag. And so on that note, I'm going to get ready to get ahead. As I said at the beginning, this episode is brought to you by the Epic Realm community of high achievers. If you have not joined, this is a great time to join. On top of all the other unbelievable benefits you get, you're going to get a free rapid change breakthrough session with yours truly. which has a value of $350. That's what I charge for my rapid change breakthrough sessions. But for everyone who joins this community, which is about building your circle, but we're starting with community, and out of this community, we're going to develop personal circles. If you haven't joined, now's the time to join. On that note, I'm ready to get out of here. You guys have an unbelievable day. That you support what the Odyssey Project is doing in the inner cities, especially with programs like Black Men Lead, which is a rite of passage initiative, and Restoring Ghetto's Forgotten Daughters, which is a program focused on helping young girls, but boys as well, suffering from childhood sexual abuse, rape, molestation, domestic abuse, absentee fatherhood, and so many other things. The information will be in the box. Thank you.